Hello everyone and welcome to JournalForGills. My name is Lewis and in today's episode of JFG Meets we have former Gillingham Groundsman Tony Provan on the show. Obviously, unfortunately, due to the current coronavirus pandemic, we were apart when having the chat, so it did have to be a phone interview, but do stay tuned for inside stories on Tony falling into a job at Charlton, picking himself up after struggling at Brentford, getting back into the game, the project at Gillingham, leaving the club, settling down and more. Enjoy. So we're now joined by former Gillingham groundsman, head groundsman Tony Provan. Tony, thank you for coming on, mate. How are you keeping in these times at the minute?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. Yeah, it's just I think it's the same for everyone. It's tough times. We're not seeing our loved ones. I'm not seeing my children because of this. But it's the right thing to do. You've got to try and keep everyone safe and things like that. But yeah, no, it's testing times for everyone, mate. We're all in the same boat. So yeah, it's not great.
Yeah, no. Hopefully it's over sooner rather than later. But we'll try and get to some good chats. Pass the time, keep the people busy, etc., etc. So, like I said, you're a groundsman in football. So right at the very start, why football?
I think from my point of view, football's always been my first love growing up. Always wanted to be a player when you're younger. That was my dream, to be a player.
Yeah.
But obviously wasn't good enough. And that's where it pretty much stems. I went to work within football, and I think I did my work experience at Charlton. And I like working outside. I like being outside in the fresh air, and the two kind of married up. And I think I've said before previously, for the first week that I worked there, I was working inside, and I saw that it wasn't really my cup of tea. And then I asked to work outside. I got given the opportunity. They was impressed with my work ethic. I had an interest in doing it. And it kind of stemmed from there, really. So yeah, Charlton Athletics, I'm a big Charlton fan, and getting the opportunity to do it there. And I think working within football and working for Charlton was my main aims of growing up.
So sort of, in a way, it was fate, really. So you said you started doing your, you said to me before as well, you started doing your work experience at Charlton, didn't you? Working inside, and then suddenly you just thought that's interesting, and you sort of fell into it that way.
100%, and that's what it was. Previous to that, when I was growing up throughout my childhood, I was a sport boy at Charlton on a match day. So I was kind of in and around the club from such a young age anyway, and I thought, when I was at school, I wanted to do something involving Charlton. Yeah. I got given the opportunity to do work experience at Charlton's training ground. As you rightly say, I think I said previously, for the first week I was doing painting and decorating. It wasn't a bit of me, it wasn't my cup of tea. I saw the lads working outside on the field. It looked interesting. I wanted to give that a go for the second week. Paul, who's the head groundsman at Charlton's training ground, still gave me the opportunity to do it, and I never really looked back since from there, really. So yeah, a bit fortunate, probably getting the step up on the ladder and the break that I got, and it just coincided with us it's probably Charlton's most successful period of time, being in the Premiership years, and then kind of went from there.
I was going to say, when you were doing your apprenticeship, Charlton were in the Premier League, weren't they?
Yeah.
How was that as an experience as a whole?
I was extraordinarily lucky. I was working with top groundsmen, learning the trade there. Also, got players, the quality of players who were sitting around you and getting pitches ready for them. The calibre of players that I was getting the pitches ready for was just an experience that can never be replaced. And when you have national teams like Argentina and England coming to train at the training ground when you're working there and getting pitches ready for them, it's experiences that some may not ever get. So I was extraordinarily lucky.
Yeah, no, that sounds pretty decent. Like you said, you supported Charlton growing up. Was it strange having to sort of sacrifice the fan experience, so to speak?
It was a little bit. If anything, it probably knocked it a little bit. I think it was a case of just being, because you're working there day in, day out, you kind of lose the, oh my God, there's a Mark Kinsella, for example, your favourite player, and you're seeing him every day, and it's it kind of takes that little bit of spin away from it a little bit. But it does. For me personally, I mean, other people might have a different opinion, but for me, it did a little bit. But I think it was, leaving Charlton in the end was you kind of get that buzz back a bit about, being a fan again and going from there really. But yeah, I still love my time at Charlton. I'd never change it.
Yeah, I think that's important for advice for someone that is looking to get into football. Is no matter what way it is. I had a friend from I met him a couple of years ago, but he was looking to get into football, and he supported Chelsea, and he always said he would never work for Chelsea because he was just happy being a fan. But I suppose it varies in terms of how involved you want to get. Like, I'd love to work obviously in journalism, like covering Gillingham, for Gillingham, that sort of thing. But for some people, I think it does vary. Maybe it's something to be careful of. But
it depends what capacity as well you do. I mean, again, I was there day in, day out. If you're only turning up there on a match day, or if you're a part-time staff, perhaps you still have that buzz of going, because you're not there day in, day out, seeing the ins and outs, and sometimes the good and the bad of what football's like. Because sometimes football can be dog eat, and there's a lot of good and bad in everything. But I just think, from a Charlton fan's point of view, I think it was, it just took it away a little bit,
Yeah, no, fair enough. But you were still quite young when you left Charlton, right? To have the chance to go to Brentford, I think I'm right in saying. But you were quite sort of unsure about weighing up your options, sort of thing. Because it was a good opportunity, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, it was a great opportunity. I mean, Charlton had just got relegated as well. I think they spent a year in the Championship, and I think things were getting a bit, getting a bit, I don't know, a bit off the pitch. We're getting a little bit tight, should we say?
Okay, yeah.
But as I say, from my point of view, an opportunity came about to be head groundsman at Brentford. I was 23 at the time. The lure of more money, the prestige of being a head groundsman at 23 at a League Two. At the time, they were League Two club. Was just too much to turn down from a career point of view. So I had to take it, and plus I wanted to see if I could do it at that time. Unfortunately for me, I think my lifestyle wasn't the best, and I think it alluded to me not being able to live up to the potential that I believe that I have, and I let myself down in that aspect, as well as the club, as Brentford being run at that time by the supporters. So it was a designated fan that got put in charge. Okay. But having said all that, I can't blame everyone else. I have to look at myself, and fundamentally, I was the reason why I didn't succeed. So you live and learn, and that bit I regret, because I feel that I could have done so much there. But it's just a shame, really. But yeah, it was an opportunity that I had to take, definitely.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's a bit personal, but why didn't it go to plan?
I think I'd rather have been in the pub with my mates, really. Okay. I think it was a case of do as much work as I could, as quick as I possibly could, so I could get down the pub with my mates and enjoy their company and be there with them. And it's totally the wrong attitude. It was, if I was to have had the attitude like I did when I was at Gillingham and what I've got now when I'm at Meridian, I think we would have been maybe. Who knows what would have happened? But unfortunately for me at that time, when I worked at Brentford, I worked hard, and I worked as hard as I possibly could. But I just feel that I should have dedicated myself more to the cause than what I possibly did, and for that I've got no one to blame but myself.
Okay, you live and you learn, though, right? You learn from your mistakes, and I'm sure you've become a better person, a better groundsman for it. So when you did leave Brentford, did you have to weigh up your career options a little bit, do you think?
100%. I left Brentford, mutually agreed for us to part ways, and I was then without a job. So, I worked in a pub for a couple of years to just reevaluate. Probably not the best place in the world for me to work either, but I worked in the pub for a couple of years, and I was all over the place. I didn't completely. I felt like I wasted everything that I learned and the experiences that I had, and there's a lot of things I had to weigh up. I mean, I worked extraordinarily hard in the pub, and I love working in the pub. But it was, I wanted to, I just feel like I was all over the place. And I think I've said again previously, I met my ex-wife, and she kind of, sorted me out, and said to me, look, get on with it and try and get yourself back into it, and then that's what I did.
Yeah, good on you. And I think I'm right in saying you got back into Meridian. You got into Meridian for the first time through Jay, right? Yeah.
So Jay, who I used to work with at Charlton, Jay Burkow, is now head groundsman at Dartford and doing well, which I'm glad to hear.
Yeah.
He was working at Meridian at the time, and he had an opportunity to go and work for Blackheath Rugby Club, and obviously phoned me up and said there was an opportunity to get back into it. So I went for the interview at Meridian, and they liked what I heard, took me on, and absolutely grafted. And I thought I did a good enough job there to then get a phone call from Gillingham.
Yeah, you obviously soon went to Gillingham. What was the sort of process of joining the club?
Well, Colin Powell, the head groundsman at the time at Charlton, let me know, again, gave me a phone call and said there was an opportunity potentially at Gillingham about me going in there. So I spoke to the chairman about coming down and arranging to have a meeting. And so we did. I met the chairman, and we had a chat, and he was impressed and liked what he heard regarding myself, and took me on. And it went from there really, and absolutely loved my time there. And I honestly worked my behind off there to get that pitch to a standard, because when I first went in there, the truth of the matter is that pitch had no structure to it. It was awful. Yeah.
I was going to say, what was your experience at Gillingham like? Because you did have a bit of a project, didn't you?
Oh, massively. I thought to myself that I've got an opportunity to work at a professional club again. There was no way that I was going to give up this opportunity and muck up like I did before previously. I was absolutely determined to make sure that didn't happen, and absolutely work my backside off. I grafted, and the unfortunate thing for me was at the beginning when I first turned up there. It was 3 days before the start of the season of that year. I think you just got promoted, and I think it was the season after you got promoted. I just got the job then, and it was 3 days before the start of the season, so I literally couldn't really get my teeth into it. I'm literally working with something that was there for me. And the unfortunate thing is, when I turned up there, the pitch didn't have that much structure to it. So, for example, the pitch, when somebody planted their foot, it would come away because there was no root, and the pitch started to lay on top of the surface because there was no structure in it. And I just thought that, if I was just to have had a little bit more time to try and get some root depth into it, some structure, some stability, I think I could have maybe got it to be a good surface for the beginning of that season. But we had to, I had to work with what I was given, and by the end of the season, with 2 games to go, we got structure in it.
Yeah. What about obviously you said you had no time. How important is time in terms of what you want to do? Because obviously, ideally, you'd want to start fresh, you want to build your own project, but how important is it in terms of just trying to make the best of what you've got? So, we've got this, it's absolutely terrible, we'll try and do it a little bit, that sort of thing.
So, if I'm honest with you, like I've done previously, wherever I've been, when I've been in charge, is when the final ball's kicked of whatever season, you like to make sure that you get your work done and your renovation done, possibly a day after, ideally, but 2 days after, and then you've got practically the whole of the off season to get your pitch constructed and ready for the first pre-season game.
Yeah.
So I'd like to, you'd like to have, ideally, you like to have 6 weeks minimum, but 8 weeks ideally. So you've got all that length of time to get your root structure, you get your grass coverage, get it looking fantastic as best you can, and get it playing good as well. So you like to have that kind of window. Some clubs don't have that window, but they also have the equipment and the finances to get their pitches up and running.
It's all well and good having it look nice, but it's all about below it, isn't it? Below the surface.
100%. You need to have the structure within your pitch, because if you've got a bubbly pitch, or if you've got a pitch that's not stable or got any stability, then it's going to be, it's got like playing on a bumpy road.
Yeah.
So you want it to have the best structure and stability, and with nothing coming out of your pitch, and you want the ball to roll true, and you don't want the players to be second guessing whether the ball's going to bounce over the foot or not.
Yeah. Wasn't there a point at Gillingham, I think I'm right in saying you just ripped the whole thing up?
Yeah, I did. What they do on most of the professional clubs have to, well, they don't have to, but they choose to core off the pitch. That means they slice the top surface, literally drill seed and put top dressing on and get their pitches all ready for the season. And what it does is it gets rid of any annual grass or any perennial, which is a shallow rooting grass that goes in, so you don't have any perennial which goes all the way down, which is a deeper rooting grass. So you clear everything out, make sure you've got one nice clean healthy sward that goes into your pitch, and make sure it's nice and strong.
Overall with Gillingham, I know you had big visions. What were your ambitions with the club of what you wanted to do?
Just to make it the best pitch in the league. I wanted to make it the best pitch in the league, and I wanted to, make it one of the best pitches in the country. That was the ambition, and it just needed a bit of time. Really, it needed a bit of time to get it there. But I believe that I could have done, and that was my ambition.
And I know because you've told me before, but how did it work with the training pitch? As in, who looked after that? Was that you as well?
Well, I've got Jay to come. Jay, again, I mentioned earlier, I went to come in to work with me, because obviously we've worked together previously and we get on, and it's always good to trust someone who you've worked with.
Yeah.
So when I first turned up there, I was doing the training ground and a stadium before Jay come in, and then Jay's come in and then took over the training ground just to give myself, to spread myself between the both. So Jay would get the pitches ready in the morning down at the training ground, and once I've done what I've had to do at the stadium, I would come down and assist him, just for move the water around for the boys or whatever else. And then Jay on the match day would come up and help me do the pitch, and so try to work together really more than anything else. But as I say, his sole purpose really was to look after the training ground and assist me on the match day.
So the pitch was like your baby sort of thing?
To be honest with you, I think like me being in charge, I think it was a case of I found it was all under my remit. Even though Jay was doing the training ground and he'd done a fantastic job, I took it all. If it went wrong, it'd be on my head. The training ground was Jay's baby, no doubt about that.
Yeah.
And he done, as I keep saying, he done a really good job. But I personally, if anything did go wrong down the training ground, I'd have to take that on the chin, because fundamentally I was in charge. And if there was a problem down the training ground, then I'd have to look at why there was a problem down at the training ground.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I know you've mentioned to me about Bradley Dack and that at Gillingham before, but in terms of your whole career, how scared would you get watching a game in terms of like the player just doing a knee slide or something like that?
I mean, it's never nice. Worrying about NFL players going to do a knee slide and ripping your pitch up. I mean, to be fair, I was only bantering about that before. But I mean, if you're winning and they're doing well, and it's going to happen. The players got to celebrate a goal, haven't they? But I mean, if I'm honest with you, I think it's, as I say, I mean, it is what it is really regarding that. I think the thing that bothers me as a groundsman, it's not so much that. I mean, again, that was me bantering. I think the thing for me is when you're seeing opposition teams who do their warm up and sometimes do it on purpose just to maybe go a few more yards on the pitch and do some shuttles or doggies on your pitch and kind of pushing the boundaries a little bit, and you think there isn't really much need for that. But on the whole, to be fair, especially in my time at Gillingham, everyone that comes down was pretty much respectful. I think I only had one issue, and that was with the Rochdale. I think at the time, I don't know if he's still there or not. Don't really matter to me. But I had a problem with the Rochdale. I think whoever it was, fitness coach or whatever else. Yeah. I told him not to do a certain or a particular warm down in an area that me and the boys had just finished and worked on, and he thought it'd be a good idea to get his player to do short, sharp sprints where we just worked. So I happened to turn on the sprinkler to make sure that he had a nice shower before he had a shower.
Oh, you've got to do these things.
It's got to be done.
Would you think it's fair to say you sort of like relish the off season when you've got a good period to work on everything?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, once you've got a little bit of a window to do some work, you can get right involved and really go for it, to be honest. But at the same time, working throughout the season when they're there as well, you get into a routine of knowing what you're doing as well. So, I used to relish this, when you've got a period of a break period, because you can really get the pitch rejuvenated and hopefully get some more grass comes and get some more stability into the pitch. But, as I say, it's a season, and you just got to go with it and do the best you can with what you're given, and to get the pitch up to the standard that you want to get to.
Yeah. Would you say you're proud of what you achieved at Gillingham?
I was proud of what I achieved when I was there. Yeah, I wanted to obviously get it better than it was. I believe I got the pitch as decent as I could do. So yeah, I was very proud of what I achieved with in the time that I was there. As I say, it was a project of mine to get the pitch to be the best in the league, and we was on that path. So I was proud of what I'd done.
So I think obviously quite a big thing is leaving Gillingham. Why did you leave when it seemed like you were onto something good?
Well, from me and the club decided just to part ways. It's something's happened in life, and that's another thing, part of my journey of what happened in life. But we decided to part ways. Mutually agreed to part ways, and I moved on.
Yeah, fair enough. Just a mutual thing then. These things happen, I suppose. I'm not trying to get you to dig anyone out or anything, but what have you made? I don't know how up to date of it you are, but what have you made of the pitch side of things at Gillingham since you left?
I haven't. I think I've been back. Once since I've gone. Regarding the pitch, definitely the right thing. The guys have had done at the pitch that's been laid is the right thing that has been done.
Yeah.
Maybe when they chose to do it, possibly is debatable.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the work that's been done is absolutely the right work that's been done. Something that I wholeheartedly agree with. So yeah, I haven't seen it to really completely comment on it and how well it's doing and that. But from what I do know and what I've read publicly and what I've seen publicly, the work that has been the work that Gillingham have done to their pitch from a construction point of view is absolutely 100% the right thing that they had done.
The timing of it, which was like just not too far in the start of last season, I'm assuming that's what you're referring to. The reason it had to get pulled up is because it was actually deemed illegal to play on. So they, it probably should have been sorted out earlier. Obviously, we literally just started the season, but.
Well, as I say, I'm not going to slam anyone for making decisions at a football club, because who am I? But what I will say is, from a groundsman point of view, or from a professional groundsman point of view, you make sure that you get all type of works done in pre-season, so you're ready to go for the start of the season without undertaking any of them, because it's a major thing that you get done there, like that, and you make sure that you get that done at the beginning of the season. But again, I don't know the ins and outs really of how and what, and that's up to them and what happened there. But all I know is from my point of view, with what I do at clubs, I would make sure that gets done in the off season without any problem.
Yeah. And I don't know the ins and outs of it, but I'm pretty sure the pitch is some sort of hybrid pitch. Where do you stand on the whole sort of 3G, 4G debate, that sort of thing?
I think I've been quite public about this one before. As I say, I'm not a fan of 3G as in competitive football. I think it's dangerous.
Yeah.
The complete AstroTurf side of things. I think with the debate that I put on it as well, there's loads of discussions that I've seen about the health of it all and the safety of it all, and the rubber crumb bits and pieces, without knowing too much about it. That is what it is. But from my point of view, from a playability point of view, is that if, for example, you play on a grass pitch and you're late for a challenge and you put your foot into a ground, you can take a turf out or you take a divot. You take a divot out if you're late for a challenge.
Yeah.
If you do that on a 3G pitch and you're late, it's constructed on a hard surface underneath, and if you put all your force into it, I think it causes injury. Because again, you've got the give of the grass that can go. If you put everything into it, and it's not going to buckle your ankle so much, you're going to take a turf or a divot out.
Yeah.
With the carpet ain't going anywhere. So the only thing that will roll will be your ankle, and if you're late, you overstretch, and you can do things that way. That's my only. I'm not saying that it's the root cause of it all, but I think there's more chance of you hurting yourself in that aspect.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. I like, obviously, like I said, I don't know the ins and outs of it, but I think that's pretty bog standard thing, and I don't like really seeing football on that sort of pitch.
They have a place. I think they do have a place. I think they're good for training for training purposes when it's not competitive, because you don't have to. As I say, you don't have to put everything into it where you could potentially injure yourself. You can pass the ball from A to B on it. I don't see a problem with that. But when it comes to competitive football, when you put everything into everything, I think it can cause injury. And I've seen it cause injury, and more so than I have done on grass pitches.
Yeah, so we'll hope it stays out of Football League then for the long run.
I think 3G and 4G pitches shouldn't be played at professional football, no.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. Going back to your career, after you left Gillingham, you headed back to Charlton, right?
Yes, I did. Yeah, I went back there briefly. So obviously when I left, when me and Gillingham parted ways, I spoke to my old boss Paul, and I said, look,
not Scally, just for.
No, sorry, my old boss Paul Geary at Charlton Training Ground. We had a discussion, and after the discussion, I went in there and helped them renovate 2 pitches that they needed, because obviously they've got works going on at the training ground. I still believe they still have. Still got some works going on down there, and they're reconstructing their pitches, and they just needed me to go in and just help them out with a couple of pitches and just helping out in general.
Yeah.
Until anything else come along, really. I would have loved to have stayed there, but at that particular time, the club were going through their problems, and nothing really of that kind of stability was going to be coming my way, as in getting a contract or whatever else. And I kind of knew that a little bit. It was all very honest with me, so I kind of knew that I wasn't going to be staying there. And I knew that from the moment I went in there, but I think there was a little bit of me hoping that I could have done. But it wasn't to be, and no problem with that at all. And luckily for me, the opportunity to go back to Meridian come about, and haven't looked back really since.
I was going to say, obviously, went back to Meridian, where you are now.
I've always been in contact with the chairman even when I left the first time. And we've remained good friends. He's now departed and not chairman no more, but we still remain good friends now. And, he said that the opportunity was there. Somebody had left the position and the position was available, and asked me if I was keen to go back in. And I got offered a stability of having a contract and of having a secure job, if you want to say, and I also knew what I was going back to. I knew what I didn't have, and I knew what I did have, and I just thought it was a bit of a no-brainer really not to go back and just not start again, but start again.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I got what you're saying.
And then go again. So that's what I've done, and that's where I've been for the last 4 or so years since. And I still have a project to really get the pitch up to the best that we possibly can, and we're going in the right direction. Obviously, the coronavirus has to that a little bit at the moment, obviously, for obvious reasons. But hopefully, once we all get through this, and I can go back and hopefully still get it to a level that I want it to get to.
Yeah. When you walk back through that door and you sort of first day back on the job, what sort of was the state of affairs in terms of the pitch side of things?
I wanted to walk back up. It was that bad. I spent 30 minutes there. I think it might have even been 30 seconds, but it felt like 30 minutes. But I went back in there and I saw the state of it, and I was thinking this was quite bad.
Yeah.
Not, it might sound like I'm slating people. I'm just calling it how it is. I just thought, I left it in a reasonable state when I left, and I've been away and I come back and I just thought, well, can I do it and everything else? But yeah, I persevered with it. I stayed and I was determined to think to myself, you know what, I'm going to get this back, and I had a bit between my teeth to really stamp on it and show people what I can do, and I feel like I've done that, and there's still a lot more for me to do, I believe.
Yeah, it's probably a good chance for you to flaunt your what's the word, your expertise in terms of what you know. But what have you done to the pitch since you've been there?
Literally, I was doing everything that I was doing at Gillingham, really. Fertilising programmes and aeration programmes, and just making sure you're doing all the right practices, the best that you possibly can do, and just making sure that and doing all the right things, I believe, So, as I say, feeding and doing fertilising, aerating the pitch as best you can, and just making sure you're doing all the day-to-day practices that you should be doing, and doing basically what groundsmen should do. Really, everything that I've been taught to do, everything that you pick up along the way. I'm not saying everything is 100% by the book that you always do, but sometimes in life things get thrown at you, so you've got to improvise and do things that you see fit for the time of what you need to do. So, it's basically, again, just doing the things that I've learned and doing the things that I do. And as I say, we seem to be in a place and seem to be doing okay, and hopefully I can continue that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Is it different working with perhaps less of a budget than you've had before, or is it similar, or what?
It's challenging. It's challenging.
Yeah.
It's compared to other places that I've been at. It's different. There's been other clubs that I've worked for that have been better. There's been other clubs that have been worse. But you have to work with what you're given. And, you kind of have to think to yourself. I think if every groundsman in the world got their way, they would be having budgets that are millions. you have to work with what you're given, and I think sometimes in life everything's challenging. So it's just a case of finding out what your priorities are, and putting and if you've got a budget where you can get your main priority done, then brilliant. And just as I say, you have to work with what you're given. So to answer the question in a long-winded way, it can be very challenging.
Yeah, no, that's understandable. And how does it work in terms of getting that money? So say, for example, I'll put it in context. Say you're at Gillingham and you think, oh, we want this bit of machinery we've not got or something. How do you go about getting the money? Do you have to go to Paul Scally, random people at the top? They know their football, but they might not necessarily know the ins and outs of what makes a good pitch. So how do you sort of pitch your idea to get that money?
Well, I'm not going to use Gillingham as an example. I'm going to generalise it and say whatever clubs that I've been at. So for example, whatever clubs that I have been at, you'd have a conversation with obviously the chairman, or you'd have a conversation with the stadium manager, or you just have a general meet. You'd have a meeting with the hierarchy, have a discussion about what you feel that is needed and where you feel you need to go with it. And if the club can, they will, and if the club can't, they won't. And then you have to go for your second option. You have to make sure that, from my point of view, you always got to make sure you've got options, because sometimes you're not always going to get your first option. So you always got to make sure that you've got a second option, even a third option. You always got to make sure you've got an option, because you can't be going into these type of meetings with people that you're effectively asking them to give them their money. You've got to make sure you've got a plan to know what you're doing and where you want to go. So as I say, generally every club that I've been at, you make sure you have a conversation with them, explain to them why you want to do it. So basically, it's just like a business case, really, and at the same time, making sure and showing them why you want it and what the fruits will be once it's done.
Yeah, no, fair enough. But going back to Meridian now, I remember last time I saw you, I came down, or came up a couple of years ago, and you said you were working on sort of the clubhouse area, change rooms, etc. How's that sort of project developed?
Yeah, I mean, it's going really well. I mean, it's actually happening right now as we speak. I don't know about if they're working on it at the moment, but before the coronavirus, they are coming on. So yeah, that side of things coming on great. And yeah, it's still a work in progress. But yeah, no, as I say, that the 2 en-suites are being done at this moment in time, and the other side, all the other change rooms for the other football pitches and change rooms are being done. So yeah, it's a good project and it's going okay. So yeah, it's that side of things are going good. So it's all good.
Decent. And what about in terms of the football side of things on the pitch?
Yeah, one side that I'm heavily involved with Meridian Sports FC, doing really well they were doing really well, so obviously everything's been null and void. But they were top of the league, and they were top of the Kent County West Division and Division 3, and they were top of the league, only Division 1 and winning all the rest of them. So yeah, they're at the bottom of the ladder, but I believe that they're good enough to get to the step 6 level. I really do believe that good. We'll be seeing them at that level. To then hopefully push on and do well. But yeah, no, doing well. Hopefully the boys will continue to do that once we're all back and ready to go. Yeah,
decent. You mentioned step 6. What is the long-term ambitions? Is that what the club's after?
Yeah, I think so. I think the club are after playing that level. So yeah, I think that's where we want to get to, and I think that's definitely the ambition. Whatever goes on after that, then it's a bonus. So I think if we get to that level, I think that'd be a massive achievement considering where we are at the moment. So, but yeah, I think that is the ambition, and I think we'll get there as long as we keep the players, which is going to be extraordinarily difficult because they're all great players. Yeah. But we've got a great manager in Wayne, and I believe that I think we will. I think we'll get there.
And just maybe rewinding a bit, but because obviously I know all the seasons have been void and stuff, but in terms of like you say, the work's going on behind the scenes and like you doing the pitch and stuff, how much has the current situation with the coronavirus impacted that? And I don't know how recently you've been in to see the pitches or anything, but what are you expecting to find when you go back?
It's a great question, to be honest with you. I can't. I'm not. Well, it's an interesting one because I think with obviously with revenue going into the club, it's going to affect the renovations massively. And I'm not deluding myself in any shape about it being anything different, really. And I understand that, and I hope other people understand that, because at the end of the day, I think there's more important things at the moment. I just expect it to be very long. There's going to be a lot of work for me, put it that way. I think there's going to be a lot of work for me, and has it put us behind a little bit from where we were? Absolutely, 100%. Of course it has. But regarding the financial side of things, again, I don't know too much about that. I think it's going to be obviously a conversation that I'll have to have with the club once we get through this, and whatever they decide will be what it will be, because I'm not going to be holding anything against the club. It's not their fault, any of this. So whatever the club decide, we will go from there. We'll work as hard as we can together and try and produce what we can produce. Because as I say, it's not the club's fault, and we'll have to work, and everyone will have to work together and kind of understand the situation and realise that this thing's been thrown upon all of us. So we will have to dig in and work together.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's a project, and I know this is probably a bit of a lot bigger bump than anyone could have expected. You worked around it, didn't you? You try and just soldier on. Obviously, it's a shame to see a lot of clubs in that situation, but hopefully everyone comes out the other side of it.
100%, mate. 100%.
In terms of personal ambitions, how settled are you now? How high do you want to go? Getting back into professional clubs, maybe?
For me at the moment, I mean, Meridian have been so good to me. They've been very loyal towards me. They've been very good. And as I say, from a personal point of view, I think I'm producing some good work. I wanted to continue. I got Groundsman of the Year for the Skeffel Leagues, which is a big achievement for myself, which I'm quite happy about, being at Meridian. So, yeah, I mean, from a personal point of view at the moment, I'm extraordinarily happy being where I am. In the future, who knows what will happen. But for now, I'm very happy being at Meridian, and I'm enjoying working there, and long may it continue, and hopefully I can continue to push the pitches on, all the pitches there, and I'll do my best to do that.
Is the travel quite easy, because you're quite close, aren't you?
Yeah, well, I've moved back to Welling, so I'm literally just round the corner now. I do have ambitions to move back down to the Whitstable way. Obviously, I want to be near with my children in the future. That's my ambition, to move back down that way. It's a lovely area down there as well. So, that's the ambition in the future. But again, it's easier getting into work at the moment. There's no vibe about that one. Yeah. Especially not missing that Medway Bridge very much at the moment. But that's a bit of a nightmare. But the ambition is to move back down there, and as I say, for now, I'm extraordinarily happy at Meridian, and who knows what will happen.
Just finally, what do you see? Where's the state of the industry in terms of what you're doing?
I think it's probably, from my point of view, from what I see, I think it's probably getting the most coverage that I've ever seen it get at this moment in time with social media. Yeah. I think the social media side of things has helped it massively. People are noticing that type of thing now. You know, again, when you've got, and I hear it from other people, I hear it from, for example, when I'm hearing it from my mate's sister, for example, going, oh, do your Groundsman, yeah. Well, you see that guy who done that picture on the TV the other day, and I'm thinking, this is somebody who doesn't know anything about football. Yeah. And they're telling me about a football pitch that they saw on TV. So, when they're seeing, or social media, so when they're seeing things and patterns and things like, it gets noticed, and I think social media is huge. I think Twitter for the work side of things is huge. Yeah. I think it's probably in the best state it's ever been, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, and I always enjoy seeing your cuts that you post on Twitter, and I've seen quite a few stuff. Is it Pitch Care?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They're quite good as well. The stuff they do, because I've been.
Well, Pitch Care have been very good. Obviously, they've done an article with me last month now. It was for last month and this month. They did a big interview with me, and as I say, it's not even just for myself. They do interviews for all the other groundsmen in the industry, and again, for everyone that's interested in what we do, or these are the type of things, that type of people that get you, gets the industry noticed. So these type of magazines, the things on social media. I keep going back to social media, but it's huge. Yeah. Because once, if you get silly people like myself posting things, and other people then start seeing it, and the next people start seeing it, and people just talk about it. Sometimes you get negative things, but at the same time, they're bothered to talk about it, and if they're talking about it, that means that they've seen it. So it is what it is. So keep that. I think it comes back to, it's in the best place, I believe, that it's probably ever been.
Yeah, hopefully it continues to improve. That's pretty much everything I've got. I just want to say thank you again for coming on. I do appreciate it, taking time out of your day. I know there's not much to do at the minute, but I appreciate you talking to me.
No problem, mate. And as I say, all the best for the future too, pal.
Cheers, mate. Cheers. Take care. So that's that for this episode of JFG Meets. I'd like to give another huge thank you to Tony for taking the time out of his day to chat to me. Please do like the video if you enjoyed, and feel free to leave a comment and subscribe to the channel as well. Please check out all of our other platforms, which can be found in the description, and do let us know anyone else related to the club that you think we should get on the show in the future. We do have a few episodes lined up already, so keep an eye out for those. See you soon.